Welcome to Vauxhall, a podcast production of Learned and Laughter. This episode of Vauxhall features a discussion with Moses BAIDEN Jr., founder and chairman of Margins ID Group. These Vauxhall discussions are produced in partnership with Empowering Good Governance, also known as Egg Magazine, an online publication to be found at www.eggmagazine.net. That is www.eggmagazine.net. This episode's guest is Moses BAIDEN Jr., founder and chairman of Margins ID Group. He has over 30 years of experience in business development, sales, marketing, and manufacturing. With BAIDEN at the helm of Margins ID Group, the company has built itself a solid reputation and impressed customers with its identity-focused security products, which connect people to solutions and services in a digitalized world. We now join Ekem Amunulatson, the host and producer of Vauxhall, with his guest, Moses BAIDEN Jr.
So prior to this statement you just made, I was seeing that what you do is very beneficial to, let's say, Goliath. Now, you mentioned something about David, and say a little bit more how what you do can be in better service to David, so that David wouldn't say that, well, Goliath has all this on me, and what do I have on it for my own self and purposes?
So, that's why I said it's not a technology problem. Sometimes it's even more a legal problem in the beginning. Thank God I'm a lawyer, but it's actually a legal problem before it's a technology problem. How do people get assured that the data that you collect from them is being used properly? You have to design the system to follow the law. So the system is compliant with the General Data Protection Regulations that's enforced in Europe because we collect foreigners' ID. It conforms with all global privacy compliance issues because it's designed to do that. You can't change it. It's designed that way. It conforms to the Ghana Data Protection Agency, and most of the people in the system have to be certified to be data controllers and so on. So there's a way to do that, and it's certified. We are certified. We have like 8 certifications.
International certifications.
International certifications, from 27,000, 23,000 to Intergraph to, we have security level up to currency printing level. So we have a process where we can show that all our personnel, all our systems are certified to the highest level. And there's a track and trace for everything, So that's the assurance that you have. And because this system is following those legal imperatives, it's not human beings that are doing that. So basically, if you want somebody's information in the national ID system, the person has to give us consent. How did they do that? They need to do a biometric verification. That shows that they are alive and they're giving you consent for the data. And, so you design that. So for instance, you go to you're on a bank platform and they say, okay, who are you? I'm Moses BAIDEN. What's your ID number? This is my ID number. Okay.
Show me
Moses,
they are live and present.
Yes, we want you to update your KYC. I say, okay. They say, okay, put your national ID number and then turn your camera on your face. And it takes a picture. The picture does a liveness detection with the NIA platform. And the NIA knows that you've consented, you are live, and you are there. And you have put your biometric face in that. So it immediately takes your KYC to the government. And it keeps the record of the code that shows that you complied. And we can show track and trace that you actually were there, you complied. If it's wrong, then NIA has a liability, and we have a liability. And of course, we're not in the business of making our liabilities mature. So we have the right security procedures to ensure that the information we give is accurate and can be relied on.
Recently, I went to the Lands Commission and I had some documents and I gave it to them, and they had a system for saying, okay, give us the documents, we will attach it to an email, and when you want the information, just bring that email and we'll be able to give you the documents that you need. And I was wondering, what if somebody else knows my email and picks up the documents?
Oh, there's a working group with the Lands Commission right now, and it's the law. They just have to set a deadline. I'm sure the deadline is before the end of this year. the Vice President's office coordinates all these deadlines together with the Minister of Digitization and Communication and other relevant institutions. So there are a lot of groups of people sitting under the Vice President's office working on different parts of the program. And I know the Lands Commission has a team with NIA, supported by us, of course. NIA is our bigger partner. They own all the mandates. And Lands Commission technical people. And we've just finished a workflow which allows you to register land with your national ID and to verify that who you are. So the era of land guards and who owns what is going to go away. It's in the process. I can check for you. But I'm sure that the deadline, I heard the Vice President say that it's before the end of the year. And I know that there's been several meetings with the Lands Commission. I've been in a couple of them. But I know the deadline is this year. So right now, you can register land and you'll be obliged to attach your land, your national ID. It brings a certain level of transparency. And all the hassle with, multiple ownership of lands, land guards, people get cheated out of their sweat and all the idiocy that criminals in the system wants to perpetuate. I think there's a strong determination to remove all that. I'm sure it won't be easy, but I know that the Minister of Digitalization and Communication and the Vice President have the political will to make sure that all this is done.
Let's also talk about transparency. And transparency has a lot of cachet when it comes to governments and the succession of governments. One government has an agenda, and then they might do it for political purposes. Another government comes. You seem to be very adept and adroit at working with the successive governments, being that you've been in power so long. If, let's say, for example, the issue of infrastructure comes up. Infrastructure is it's currency for a government. I build this, I build that, you can see it that I did it. How do you think, in terms of transparency and infrastructure wish listing, does this system work or can work for local government to say that, okay, let's say somebody who is in civil society can say what monies went into this particular project, who were the contractors, what were the bill of quantities for the particular project, what sort of transparency measures you did put in place for let's say, procurement. Do you think that your system also works on that level? Because this is something above and beyond identity.
Yeah, I think that, and that's why, for margins, we believe in building transparent, clean businesses, And you mentioned that my main partner is Danish. I remember one of the Danish ambassadors, Stig Balin, telling me that Moses, in Denmark, when we say zero tolerance to corruption, we mean zero, not 0.1. So, as a company, we're focused in carrying out our mandate. I think our reputation precedes us. Well, 32 years, we worked from Rawlingson's time to here with excellent results. And we're focused on delivering real value, not to be a political company or a criminal enterprise. Our track record speaks for itself. National ID, I told you, our first bid was in 1990-something. We build our own things, and we put our money where our mouth is. And we have an excellent team of excellent people globally, very leading senior directors and managers who've been in this company for a long time. And the good thing is that, as for reputation, you can't blow your horn by itself. It shows, And the products that we make, we've done since 1990s, to Kufuor's time, through President Mills, under which we signed the first pilot, through President Mahama, to Nana Addo, who said, look, I believe in Ghana companies. From what I've read, margins is the best bet to do this work. And I think that you guys should do it and do it well. So we haven't had any negative feedback from any governments. I think it's also how you hold yourself and your branding.
Yes. I think the thing that is, for me, that is most impressive is that you have figured out a way for government to generate revenue from what it's in the business of doing. That there are ways in which they can track people, track transactions, the way you can levy transactions so that more revenue is gotten for governmental purposes.
And,
so I
and
think
most
that's
of all, we are the ones financing it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So unlike saying, "Oh, we'll do this and government come and pay us for it," that brings about all kinds of things.
Yes.
You know, it
Yes.
brings you into politics and all that. We say it's the government. Listen, we believe this will work. We'll raise the money, we'll finance it, and we'll give you a sustainable way to run it. And that's the way it's worked.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
that takes you outside this supply business, political, issues.
Exactly.
You know, and it also builds respect, across many boards of NIA, ministers of NIA, across 4 governments till now. I think that the government sees us as a genuine Ghanaian business that's open, it's not political, we're transparent, and we're able to do what we say we can do. And everybody can see that we're the best to do it in Ghana anyway, except of course for people that just don't want to accept that. The evidence is clear, and the proof is in the agent. For the first time, we've issued 17 million cards. We've also had a very good cooperation with NIA across. We built trust since 2003 when we started engaging with NIA. We're in 2022. Successive boards, successive chairmen, directors, ministers, presidents of this country and NIA have always respected us as being a genuine talent-filled Ghanaian company at the forefront globally, not just in Ghana, in this identification industry.
Okay, so so I was going to ask you, if you're going to sell yourself further above and beyond what you're doing now, let's say you've done Ghana, you're doing it well, you've survived for the past 30-something years. If another client wants to think of you as a service provider, as an investor, as a partner, let's say for another country, for another company, what would you tell them that you are willing to do for them? If, let's say, Liberia came and said they want you to do something for them, if already you're not even there already.
It's interesting you mentioned Liberia. We actually won an award for the Liberian National ID before it got cancelled when the minister was changed. So it tells you the difficulty in things. But we have done the driver's license and vehicle registration system for Liberia a long time ago. We've done work in Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, all across Africa. And we've done it over 33 years. In Ghana, we've done everything that you can think about to do with identity. From 1990 to now. We have clients that have been our clients for over 30 years. They're the Ghana Airport Company. We've done the identity since the 90s, through 6 governments, because it just has to work. And I think that we've invested in the industry that we believe in, and the results have been outstanding. It shows for itself. We're transparent. We're a big taxpayer. We employ some very talented Ghanaians who have worked all over the world. The results speak for itself. The Ghana card is entirely built in Ghana. People don't know that. It's one of the most advanced cards in the world.
Amazing, amazing.
And it's built in Ghana by a Ghanaian company. We don't have to say much. We can show what we do. And I think it's about time that as a country we looked at what people can do. Of course, people talk, but talk is cheap. People can sit in the media and say whatever. But what's important is the delivery, the excellence, the professionalism. That shows in the certification, it shows in your turnover, it shows in the quality of people that you work with. It shows in the international recognition that you have. And the fact that we have the Danish government on our board, and the Danish government is zero tolerance for corruption, and we're the only compliant Ghanaian company. Actually, right now, if you have only 2 investments in Ghana. One is Margins, the other is Blue Town.
The other is what?
An industrial fund for developing countries.
Okay.
The Danish Kingdom Fund manages $2-3 billion worth of funding. Margins is the only company they are invested in. So it shows you how clean we are, how transparent we are, And so, our reputation is actually bigger outside this country than in it. We won everything that there is to win internationally.
Congratulations.
Not just in Ghana.
To wrap up, I would like to ask for a part 2 at another time to talk about the specific mechanics of revenue collection. We have this whole e-levy discussion over here, and the ways in which to collect revenue directly from the citizen. The citizen always thinks that they are owed something. I don't think sometimes they understand that they are also owed something to the ecosystem, that they are a membership, that they're a member of.
I think that you don't need part 2. I can tell you in a sentence.
Okay.
We did a survey at the passport office 4 or 5 years ago when we were thinking up this PPP. And we discovered that the time wasting, and you have to know a big man, and you have to give somebody money, it's 5 times the price of the passport. Now with the national ID that can now apply to the passport, you don't need to see anybody. And by the end of the year, you should be able to apply, put your national ID number, pay online, go to an application center of your choice, collect your passport, collect it, compare it to your fingerprints. If it's yours, because we have your data already. And you don't have to pay anybody. And you get it directly. Can you think how many days you save? Mm-hmm. And so if you have to pay $5 for that service, wouldn't you pay it? Instead of paying $50.
But then the other part where I'm thinking of now is that for those who are not digitally literate, we have to figure out how to work with those people.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, there'll be all kinds of businesses that was spawned out of the transparency and the e-government services platform that's created by having a unique ID that is digital, that allows you to confirm your identity remotely and to get the service.
So there's potential.
So it's like that. You can even have, like we used to have the secretarial service centers and so on. They will come up.
Exactly.
The private sector.
Yes.
The good thing is that, are you giving the citizens a service that they can get transparently without paying a bribe, that they can get paying 1/10 of the price that they used to pay before, and that they're going to get the service instantly? Who's not willing to pay for that? I mean, if you pick up an Uber driver and you look at his national ID card, you know that you can confirm that he's who he is. He's not going to go and kill your daughter, right? So you don't need a part 2. Just think about the expansion of that. Identity is everything when you have the right data, and you can have a transaction that's clean and transparent. You can confirm the identity of who's doing it in real time. And you can allocate the resource of the service through an access control system, whether it's logical or physical, so people can get the service on the government platform or on the commercial platform, seamlessly at low cost, quickly, without any criminality, without any bribe, and without any third party.
And I think it also creates another market for agents to work with, let's say, the folks who are digitally illiterate. And still you have a good policing and supervisory service.
It creates a key to take our society as a transparent, progressive, digitized, ready society into the next world in the fastest time that's possible in the history of the world.
Mr. Moses, BAIDEN, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that you guys are doing miraculous things, I think. And I wish you all the best, and well done to your efforts. Okay?
Thank you very much. It's the effort of a whole team of people.
Yes.
I just seem to be the person who takes the glory. So the thanks goes to the Margins team over the last 32 years of perfect, very passionate, incredibly talented people. I think there are more years ahead of us, and I'm looking forward to a company that goes global with the group of talented people that we have.
Oh, wow. Well done and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This podcast has been a production of Learned and Laughter. Vauxhall is a podcast which, among other topics, tackles the ways and means by and which we govern ourselves. Learned and Laughter's Vauxhall is affiliated with Empowering Good Governance magazine, an online publication to be found at www.egg magazine.net.